It's Ron Reader Digs the Universe. I'm Ron Reader, and this is Ron Reader Digs the Universe, and tonight, the Supreme Court sex abuser. As long as I have been politically aware, the typical Senate confirmation process dealing with Republican nominees for Supreme Court justice involves perjury. Republican judges being confirmed for the bench have been perjuring themselves for decades. You see, they're asked about Roe v. Wade, the landmark case granting abortion rights to women, and they lie. In response, they say Roe v. Wade is settled law, and that's that. They're confirmed to the Supreme Court, where they then do everything in their power to destroy women's abortion rights, and recently they finally succeeded. Every conservative justice on the Supreme Court bench is a perjurer, a felon, and everybody knows it. For some reason, I don't know what it is, all of them are still on the Supreme Court and none of them are in jail. So that's an ongoing shitty situation, but we got this one Republican justice who perjured himself during his confirmation hearings not once, not twice, but 3 times, and that is Brett Kavanaugh. The first one, of course, is the aforementioned response to the question about abortion, settled law, yada yada. The second one, though, I haven't heard anyone talking about. Kavanaugh admitted to binge drinking, but totally denied that he had ever experienced memory loss in his party boy days. Well, psychologists have found that if binge drinkers don't experience straight up blackouts, they are in all probability experiencing hazy, fuzzy, murky episodes of memory from the night before. So Kavanaugh lied, his second count of perjury. But why on earth would such a respected jurist commit a crime so heinous that when Bill Clinton did it, conservatives said that it undermined the entire judicial system? Pretty clearly, he did it to double down on yet another act of perjury. During his confirmation process back in 2018, it became known that Christine Blasey Ford had accused him of sexually assaulting her when they were teenagers. Kavanaugh denied the accusation, but she was credible and polygraph approved. By the way, this denial was likely Kavanaugh's 3rd count of perjury. Anyway, Trump's hand was forced and he asked the FBI to do a supplemental background check. He asserted publicly that the FBI had free rein to investigate, but they found nothing, which seemed pretty fishy at the time, and Brett Kavanaugh became a Supreme Court justice. Turns out, though, it was really fishy. A trove of emails between the White House and the Bureau were released last week showing that Trump neutered the supplemental background investigation, burying some 4,500 tips without any examination at all. Apparently, the FBI was confused about its role in all this, and so they just allowed Trump to roll over them. There were dozens of credible witnesses ready to go, but nobody ever heard from them. So it was all a sham. I was in college and adjacent to the well-to-do youth party culture around the time Kavanaugh is alleged to have assaulted Blasey Ford. I remember fraternity parties. I remember frat boys getting their dates trashed, ostensibly so they could hook up, but I also remember more than one guy bragging about how he did it with his date the previous night when she passed out. You know, like the The classic date rape scene in Animal House. This shit was rampant nationwide at the time, and I think Kavanaugh did it and then perjured himself denying it. He is a total fucking scumbag. If we can sweep both houses of Congress and the Oval Office in November, we need to throw that fucking piece of right-wing shit hack out on his ass. Shit. Impeach them all. I'm Ron Reeder, and this has been Ron Reeder Digs the Universe. Join me, Ron Reeder, again next week for another episode of Ron Reeder Digs the Universe.